and good morning. Another vlog, another day. This day is actually a day off. I figured it would be fun to take you guys on today since it is a Wednesday, so it's not a Shabbat day off. So recording is not dispermitted since it is work related. And it's an odds and ends kind of day. I'm mostly taking off, but there are a couple things that I do need to do work-wise. So there is that to enjoy. I usually take my days off, and sometimes, especially if it is a week before my week off, which is next week, so that would be this Wednesday, I do try, or sometimes if I'm feeling it or need to, do use the Wednesday. And today it's just more or less I do have to try to fix a video that I've been trying to edit for some reason. I have repeatedly tried to fix this issue with the video that I'm editing, and for some reason part of the audio for one of the clips is not wanting to work. Like every time I'm in the editing, it's perfectly fine. I've critiqued it, I've done a couple different things to it, but for some reason between editing, everything's fine for the most part, but it is pretty slow with the editing software at the moment. So maybe whatever's making it slow is also making it glitch out. I am using the online version of Clipchamp because my computer version was just completely slow. I'm sure that it's probably my laptop because my laptop is slow, but I gotta use what I can use. And the online version is doing better, but now it's starting to act iffy. Maybe I just need to clear the cookies or something. I don't know. I'll try to figure out and see if maybe that helps, because I do have to edit another video tomorrow. Hopefully I can get this solved today. Otherwise, I might just have to cut the whole thing. I'm going to try a thing or two of trying to figure something out to help with this audio. I'll probably try 2 more times, and then if that, then I'm just gonna cut this clip out, because it is like the only one for some reason that is not wanting to do the audio, and it's for the Promised Land, and it's all from the same screen recording, so I don't understand what the gist is of this specific deal, but we got to figure that out. I've also gonna try to illustrate today. That has been something I'm working on, illustration. Hopefully I can get it done. I do want to play with lighting in my illustrating. Probably won't do it this time. Probably just gonna call it at what it's at as good, and then work on the next one with the idea of playing with light. Like that is something I'm wanting to start doing, is playing with light more so with my illustrations. I'm trying to learn shadows. I've been doing that, but having more of just like, I enjoy when light is in illustrations, so that is what I want to start doing and learning. That's the next step of what I'm learning. So yeah, and I also have been trying to be more consistent with my dream journal. I've been trying most mornings, I try to get it down, or most days. Sometimes there's very rare occasions now that that's not the case, but for the most part I've been trying to be consistent. But that's why I've been trying to be also consistent in at least showing that's what I'm doing here, as far as in showing not the dream, but as far as in, oh, that this is what I'm doing for the morning, adding it to my morning routine, and also trying to have the first hour that I wake up devoted to God in some way or another. And currently that is listening to a podcast, more specifically Christ with Coffee on Ice podcast, until I get caught up, and then that will just be in the rotation, and I'll find something else to help with the mornings, because I find it a little bit easier to have something I'm watching that I can focus on, instead of something that, like, morning Bible studies don't do as well for me because I can get sleepy, and so I need something that's going to be able to not be so hard to think about as my mind's waking up, but still God-centered. So that's what we're doing. Let's go ahead and start the day, get some breakfast in, and do all that jazz. Well, I'm about to eat breakfast, and hopefully I did try to fix the editing. I figured if I get it done early, then maybe it can get done early and I could check it early, and then if I need to fix it again, then I can fix it again, and after that point, I'm just gonna call it quits and cut the scene, which is sad because I think it's a hilarious scene of the Promised Land, and I want to keep it in because hilarious. But if I can't, then it'll be on the long form. Hopefully, I've not yet downloaded that version, the extended reaction, so I don't know yet, but hopefully it being a different copy of a different video edited, then maybe keep it in. Hopefully this does not cause a repeated pattern. If in doubt, maybe I can use it as a trailer, because that's one thing that I'm trying to start doing is make trailers for my reactions to kind of like, if people watch on shorts, then be like, hey, yeah, head over here for this. And who knows, maybe that'll work, maybe that won't. I'm still trying. I've seen other people that do reaction commentary do something similar, and other people who do long form do something similar. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Maybe I can do it as like a deleted scene kind of short. I don't know how I'm going to do it because I don't want to call it quits, because it's any other scene I wouldn't have as much problem, but this scene is just like a punchline joke that I think is hilarious, and I'm just like, I don't want to have to delete it, but if I do, then I'll just call it quits. Oh, and a case, I can't remember if I mentioned or not, but another thing that I have to do today is some spring cleaning, to say the least, some deep cleaning. I need to clean out my fridge, so maybe if I hook myself in this video, it'd be encouragement, because I've been needing to do it for like a couple weeks now, and I've been postponing because I've been doing work, and it just never came around to it, so I need to get it done. So hopefully, shouting myself out of this needs to be done, and having the encouragement of the video, then I know that I can edit it out. But accountability, maybe this would be some kind of accountability, and we'll get to that today since it is a day off and it is something simple that I can do. I enjoy doing chores and listening to something like a podcast or music or just whatever, so I can do that. So hopefully fridge gets done today. That is definitely a task that needs to get done. I have some podcasts that I can listen to that I've been needing to catch up on, so there is that. And I'm going to go ahead and get some breakfast in. It is cooking at the moment and about to be done, and I am going to read some today. I took a long break because the book for this month I was reading got inappropriate real fast, and I just had to put it down because I'm just like, yeah, if it's the first official chapter and it's already getting like this, I'm not trusting the rest of the book. So I knew I had to put it down, and I am out of books to read for the most part. I have a couple somewhere that I am not willing to dig for at the moment, but I took a break for a few weeks. But I figured I'd jump on Wattpad. I know there's some hidden gems in there. I post there myself, so why not try to be supportive of other creators on there? I know it's a lot easier to find Christian content on Wattpad than it is Topaz, because you can actually look up Christian content and as a hashtag and different other things, and it makes it a lot easier to find clean things. And apparently I did already, because when I went to hang out with my dad this past weekend, I didn't have Wi-Fi for my phone, and my phone is one that needs Wi-Fi to go on the internet. So I ended up looking up, and apparently I had downloaded a book in the past from Wattpad. I don't know when, but at some point I did, which is funny because I was the night before or recently before that trying to look up some good books to try to get into, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just wanting something to be entertaining and well written, even if there's grammatical errors. I get it. I have grammatical errors. It's not going to be picture perfect. Even if it's published, it's not always picture perfect. So like I said, just a good story to get into, and I did find it, and it was one that I had downloaded in the past, and I thought that was funny because I started getting into it. It's a It's a Christian romance, and it's definitely pretty good, and it's probably gonna be something I read a lot of today and maybe this coming week. Wasn't aiming to finish a book this month, and I was thinking that I wasn't going to meet my quota of a book a month, and I unironically might, because I'm already like almost halfway through, not completely. There's like 50 something parts, and I'm on like nearly 30, I think, like 20 something. I want to say close to 30. So if I sit down and read this thing, it's supposed to be a 5-hour read, and I could probably finish this by the end of next week, which by the end of the month, which would mean I get that quota still, which is funny. And taking a break for a while didn't seem to be the issue, because it was like the first 3 weeks I took a break from reading for the most part, besides my usual reading of the Bible and reading to my kids. So I just, it never ceases to amaze me how you can get into a good book and just roll right through it. And that's one of these, is to where it's just rolling right through it, to where even I don't know what it is about the story. I do. It's just a good story. And it's a romance story. I don't really usually fall into, this is what I'm wanting, a romance story. Usually I want something with a side of romance, but this one just seems to be full on Christian romance, and I'm here for it. And it's just like, get it all giddy, and just like, it's a good one. So you should check that out if you want. At least at this moment, it is not triggering any discernment flags. It is, like I said, a Christian romance. It seems to be fine, so read at your own risk. Read at your own risk, or read at your own discernment, to say the least. But that's what I'm about to do. And I don't have coffee this morning. It's just some hot water, but it'll do the trick. So let's go ahead and get some breakfast and get some reading done and see where the morning or the day takes us next. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's after 3. I'm exhausted. I've been just chilling and reading, and I got like 9 parts done, 9 chapters or whatever done. And I want to continue reading, but even reading at this point is making it to where I'm not fully paying attention to. And I like the story, so I don't want to not pay attention to the story. I just know that I am tired. I'm not like super tired, but laying down and reading on a day that I'm burnt out, I can definitely feel the burnt out. 2 more days, and then I get my week off. So I'm going to go ahead and be a little bit more productive to hopefully help me wake up a little bit more. But that means no more reading. I will probably read some more, maybe before bed or around then, evening time. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and try to be a little bit more productive for my day. Not doing the fridge just yet. We're not doing any spring cleaning, but I think I'm going to work on the illustration and go ahead and try to see if the new download of the video, the condensed form for YouTube, is going to be working. We will see. Like I said, I will try one more thing maybe, and if it's not working either, then I'm just calling it quits. But that's it for now. Let's go ahead and continue with the day. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's see if it finally gets the audio.
I was wondering if you could speak to him.
I'm very disappointed, Bezalel. Don't sneak up on me like that. You could have killed me. Bezalel wouldn't be the first time you killed someone.
Okay, so I don't want to push it. I don't like that it cut out that last bit. I was for sure making sure that it didn't try to cut out that last bit when I edited it. But I don't want to test the waters. We're just going to keep it like that. And now I'm going to watch the whole thing just to make sure that it's fine enough. I know there's issues here and there, like little blips here and there of like could be edited out. But like I said, the software is giving me the hardest time right now. So it's just like beggars can't be choosers. So that's what I'm about to do, is I'm about to watch this through, go ahead and do some illustrating, and hopefully it gets posted today, because it was supposed to be posted yesterday. And yeah, let's try to get it done. after like a month. It has to be like over a month that I've been working on this. It's not been straight on. I've been working on nothing but this, but a month of working on it on and off. I am finally done with the piece, and I did a couple alterations with eyes, and I might end up going back and trying to fix the mouth to make it a little bit more of a smirk, to kind of give more of a Liam vibe, because that is who this is. It's supposed to be Jackson and Liam from the flashback in book 1, where Maddie has a flashback of them when they're 14 and on the bridge. And I finally got it done. I needed to work on this one. I am working on Matt, not next, but next, because I needed to work on this picture so I can use a lot of elements for it for the cover of book 3. So I went ahead and jumped into that one. But after I get cover photo for book 3, which I am working on trying to play with light in that one. I think that'd be fun. I have an idea of what I want to do with it. I'm excited about it. I think it'd be fun. The most that I will say is that I don't know what scene it will be from, since I am not working from an already scene, but I will guess I have to put in the scene. I just know that an idea of what I want the photo to be. Like for book 1, the photo was of the moment of Calston and Madison in the rain. Book 2 was kind of not an exact scene. It was kind of playing off of Madison doing her makeup in the mirror at one point before she ends up having a flashback. So it's showing like the flashback in the scene or in the mirror, but it's supposed to be a play on, like, I knew I wanted to have that idea in. And the same thing with book 3. I just have an idea of what I want, but I'm not going to say what it is just yet, but I'm excited for it. But here, 2 different pictures, the 2 different versions. One Jackson, one Liam. Can you guess who's who? Because I am, like I said, going to mess with the mouth more, try to make it a little bit more noticeable of the differences, but for now, I'm burnt out on this image because you might not have, like, you don't get to see a whole lot of the background, but there's a lot of intricate details that I've been doing because I'm going to reuse different things, like the different trees in the background. Like, I did everything almost, I want to say, basically from scratch. Yeah, because I don't think there's a single thing that I did of my own. I might have reused assets. I don't think so. I think this was completely bare bones, did everything. I mean, I do all of mine. I try to do all of mine from scratch. Sometimes I'll like have an underlaid image to kind of give me an idea. But this one was just like a bunch of... This one was a more, I wouldn't say difficult, but definitely more time consuming. The grass, the dirt, the trees, the pine trees, everything was just like the way I blend. It takes a lot more time to get it done because I like to blend like 3 or more colors in everything. For the most part, not everything. Like the leaves in this one, I did kind of just do like a dotting pattern as far as in where I could use a pen that had multiple dots in one, and I just used that and then just dotted all over the place with 3 different colors instead of blending out like I did with the wood and everything else. But I'm just excited that it's done. I'm gonna put it down for a moment, probably work on it after the matte one because I'm wanting to do a matte one, and I do have to do the reverse because I always like to do a reverse of one of the character and one of Madison because she's like the main character that you're seeing through. At least those are the ones I'm working on. So sometimes there might be scenes that I do eventually down the lines that's not going to have Madison in it. But for now, I'm trying to do like where Madison's looking and what's Madison, like where is she in the scene. So I got to do the reverse for her in the scene, and then the same thing with Matt. I'm thinking about doing the one where they're at the coffee shop in the first book. But that's the one that I want to work on next for Matt and Madison's point of view. But that is it for now. Let's go ahead and continue the day. I am really leaning towards maybe it's 6:30. I don't know if I'm going to get that fridge done because I am burnt out. Like, I am just like tired and just burnt out. So I might just leave next week to doing a lot of chores that need to get done. So We will see. We will see. So it is the end of the day, end of the evening, end of the night, and I am, geez, I did not get to my fridge today at all. Well, I did go through and dump out, like, things that need to be dumped out. I did go through that, so when I go to wash it out, it won't be so difficult. Like, all I have to do is take things out and not have to worry about looking through what was expired and what's not. So I did do part of it. So it wasn't completely not done. But the end of the evening hit and I just got more exhausted. I can tell that I am definitely in burnout at this point. So 2 more days and I get to rest, and they're just video editing days, which is not as taxing. And if I can at least get one video done this week, I'm working on trying to get the Wingfeather Saga done, episode 4, which should be out plenty of time before this. And also still working on a Hunger Games commentary, but I've been doing it in clips since I'm not going to stay up all night for over 2 hours of a movie to watch. I'm doing it in clips, so I do have like 30 minutes to edit of the last reaction that I did of the Hunger Games, and then hopefully this week. It would be nice if tomorrow night I'm not so tired and I'm able to finish up the commentary so I can, even though it's my off week next week, edit. Sometimes I will edit videos, like take a day or two to edit a video, so hopefully I can do that. That would be great to kind of build back up my buffer because it has been demolished. Took a sabbatical, and so that went through it, and then I was not able to start recording again until literally this week, so that was 3 weeks afterwards, so my buffer has been demolished, hence why I posted today of recording this video, but not when it's posted. When I had to post today the video that was giving me issues, why it was so important to try to get it done today, because it's supposed to be up, and that is not great, but hey, life hits you and you gotta take it as it is. But yeah, hopefully I can finish the Hunger Games this week. If not, then I will just finish reacting to it next week and just take most of it off to just chill, because I am burnt out, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and I am ready to just chill and do just about nothing or just what I want to. And I will probably get around to house chores then as well, because it's more so I just need a break from work and not necessarily I need a break from house chores. I will take a lazy day or two. That would be fun, and that's why I enjoy having the last week of the month off, because I get burnt out. This was a 5-weeker, 5 weeks within this month, or at least the way I did it. I've been working 4 weeks straight, and I'm used to usually on average 3 weeks on, 1 week off. On occasion, we do get a month where that is not the case, and I'm just like, okay, let's push it. And this was a pushed it, and I'm not necessarily like, oh, I'm crawling on the floor dying. It's just more so like a stretching season, I feel like, because my plate is definitely more full, but it feels like the Lord is like, hey, I'm wanting to get you attuned to this. I apologize, the AC turned on and I can't shut the door because there are things in the way that I am not wanting to move right now. So that background noise, I apologize. But yeah, it feels like the Lord is definitely getting me attuned to a new kind of workload of kind of he will do that a lot of times where he's just like, let's stretch your capacity a little bit more, and that's what this season feels like, is very much stretching my capacity of what I'm doing work wise of writing and YouTube, and trying to stretch a little bit more. And I do have moments to where I have to remind myself that I do have the last week off of every month, because sometimes I just feel like lately I've been getting into the mental trap of I have no time to myself. Like, what is the point of this if I'm just doing nothing but work? And then I have to remind myself that I have the last week of the month off and that I do have days off. So it's not nothing but work that I'm doing. Like, sometimes recently that has been what it's feeling like when I'm just thinking about how lately most of my days have been done up to where I'm doing work or doing something for somebody, and I'm just like, I just want to be able to just have a day to myself. And then reminding myself of, okay, I do have that time to myself, even though it doesn't feel like I have it right now. I do have that to look forward to. So that is something that, being on this new schedule, that I'm excited about for this coming week, of just being able to take that time to savor and just remind myself that it is not all work, it is not all doing things for other people. Because being in a family system and working, sometimes it can feel like that's what all you're doing is just like doing things for other people, and it can get a little bit frustrating. And it's just like, I enjoy doing things for other people, and at the same time it's just like, when you feel like you're always pouring out, it can get a little bit frustrating, because you're just like, I want to be able to pour out, and at the same time I want to, and right now I'm not wanting, like, I don't want to, but I know that I still need to, because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And so just like, remind yourself to take time to yourself. And if you do have time that you're taking to yourself, remind yourself to savor that and to hold on to that, of reminding yourself that you do have time to yourself. That even though in the muck of it all, sometimes it might not feel like it, just having that reminder, like the Lord has had to lay on my heart multiple times of, this year was definitely a hard one coming into it, of Him laying on my heart of a new schedule. And it just, like I said, felt like it was a lot on my plate. And I'm just like, I trust you, Lord, and I know that you'll get me through. And then at the same time telling Him, like, Lord, I don't, like, where is the time for myself? As in, where's my time to breathe? And He would remind me of, like, remember, this is how I have it for you for a reason. This is how, like, even it got a little bit frustrating, because when I was coming into this new year, and the first half of the year I work on multiple books at a time, the last half of the year I work on one book, or technically two books, because I do one book entirely, or at least as far as in working on it, focusing on it. I don't edit uh, written work. I don't write other books besides one other book, which is my kids series, once a month. But otherwise, the first, like, that's what I'm focusing on, is writing, writing, writing. And so coming into this first half of the year, and then feeling like I was being told that I was working on three different books, but some of them I'm only working on once a month, and I just felt a little bit sad, because I'm just like, well, I want to work on this, and why am I not being able to get to work on this? And just like feeling a little bit frustrated of just like, I wanted to be able to focus on one book, and my sight was so shallow at the moment, of just like, Lord, because you have to be able to trust the Lord, of just like being able to trust Him with your heart, of just like, just telling Him how it is. Because it's just like, Lord, I'm not trusting you. I am trusting you, and at the same time I'm hurt over this, because I feel like I want to focus on one book, or at least a good like a good bit of focus on one book, but I don't feel like I'm going to be able to have the capacity. And then Him reminding me of, well, that is actually why I have you working on one book at the end of the year. So you get to have your focus on one book at a time, and get a whole bunch in it done at a time, while also being able to focus on getting multiple books done at a time. And that might sound like a weird thing to be upset about, but it definitely was a grieving thing of I had to drop a book that I was wanting to work on. A couple books actually. I had to figure out there was some things that I was wanting. Like I was supposed to start editing a book that I've been working on, Star-Crossed Lovers, that I was wanting to work on this year, that I was going to edit, and eventually it just felt like the Lord switched me over to saying like, hey, no, we're going to do that next year. We're not going to do that this year. And then just listening to him, and then just like, it's so important to just trust him both with where he's guiding you and with how you're feeling about where he's guiding you, because he knows you and knows it's there. So just opening up about it and getting it out is very much, I don't feel as hurt anymore. Like I don't feel hurt anymore. Like this little bit of frustration of where's my time comes on very occasional, with him reminding me of like, here it is. Like you're asking where your time is to yourself. Well, reminder, here it is. You just need to focus on the fact that sometimes you need to take it one step at a time. And because I do a lot of times focus on one step at a time, because otherwise things can get overwhelming, I can forget to look far enough out of reminding myself of, oh, okay, there's a bit of time to breathe. There's a bit of time right there to breathe. I just have to take a breath right now and remind myself that it's there. I'm getting there. I just need to do what I'm responsible for at the moment. So, to end the late night ramble, trust God in all areas, with everything, because he already knows it, and he knows it better than you. So just trust him with your path, with your life, with yourself, internally, externally, all about it. Trust him. And it's definitely one thing that I don't regret ever trusting him with all of me, because that is the best decision I've ever made in my life, because it's made me a better me and a better life. But that's it for this. That's it for the day. So yeah, I pray blessings upon you all. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whenever it is for you. It is night for me, so good night to you. Goodbye.